This is Scott Wilson with another instructional video on ZenCart, this time about dropshipping. I'm going to show you how to do dropshipping in ZenCart. Of course, this depends on a bunch of modifications that I can do for you if you'd like me to support your cart. And this is going to be a quick overview of how they all work and how they all look together. So the first thing you're going to want to do, once you have a cart set up with the dropshipping software, is to create some dropshipping suppliers, and you do that under the Tools menu in PO Edit Suppliers. So it starts out with just one supplier, namely you, assuming that you have some of your own stock, and you can set items to be shipped out of your own stock or out of one supplier or another. We'll go ahead and create a new supplier this time, and we'll call that supplier Acme Industries. So we'll use the name Acme, and Mr. Acme, and he's at 10 Main Street in Anytown, Florida. And we'll give him the email address sales@acme.com and fill in the phone number, of course. And then the last thing you'll want to do is create an admin ID for that person. Now, you will have wanted to look at your list of admins first and predict what the next ID is, and then set it to that, and that way you can link an admin user to a supplier. And I'll show you in a minute why that's important. It allows the supplier to log in and set their dropshipping information for every shipment they make. So we'll go ahead and we'll just set this to 3 for now and do an insert. And there we have our new dropshipper. Their ID is 6 and their admin ID is 3. So we'll go over to the admin section, first looking quickly at admin profiles. And you'll notice in admin profiles there's a profile called supplier. Only allows, if you look at this entire list of checkboxes, you'll see only one checkbox is filled, the confirm tracking for suppliers checkbox. So that's the only option a supplier user ID will be able to do in your admin, which allows them to, again, set the tracking number. So we'll go ahead and create this new user. We'll add user here, and this is going to be Acme again, and we'll say Acme, sales@acme.com, and then the profile is supplier, and set a password. And there we are. So now we've linked through admin ID 3 to supplier number 6, which is also admin ID 3. That's the Acme supplier. Now that we have a supplier set up, and of course you would do this for as many suppliers as you have, you're going to then go to your products through Tools, PO Assign to Products, and set some of these products as being dropshipped by Acme. So we'll go ahead and we'll set these Fox videos to being handled by Acme. We've done all 5 here. We'll go ahead and save that. And so now, when items are purchased in your store, you know they'll be filled by Acme. So we'll go over to the storefront and get a couple of those videos. Let's see here. We had something about Mary and Courage Under Fire, so why don't we do that? We'll buy something about Mary, and then we'll go here to DVD movies again and buy Courage Under Fire. So now we have 2 items in the cart. So, and your customer will just go ahead and check out as normal. We'll just go ahead and run through the checkout, create the order, and so now we see the customer has order number 3, and if we go back to the admin, looking at admin customers orders, sure enough, there's order number 3. So now we get into the drop shipping portion of it, and since we do have a new order with some drop-shipped items in it, you'll have a new entry in this screen, customers send resend POs, which is where the POs are actually sent to the drop shipper. So there will be one line item for each item in the order, of irrespective of the quantity, that is to be drop shipped, namely handled by a drop ship customer, a drop ship supplier. And so we'll go ahead and handle order 3 by checking these 2 boxes. And once we hit send, what will happen is that we'll create an email to the Acme email address that we've entered in, we saw previously in the create suppliers. And it'll tell them you need to ship these 2 items to this person. Now, what we'll do is we'll cheat a bit and go into the email archive manager so we can look at that email and see what it looks like. It's the top one here, and it's to our friend Joe. We'll click the preview. And so here's what Joe gets. Joe, Mr. Acme Sales, gets an email saying, hey, ship these 2 items to this address. And by the way, once you're done shipping, please click on this link to fill in the tracking numbers for those products. So you have 2 options when it comes to entering tracking numbers. You can either enter them yourself, or you can let your dropshipper enter them. So if we go back to the cart, we'll see how you would enter them yourself. You would go under Customers, POs, Enter Tracking Numbers, and then you'd see this order number 3, and you could click on that, and there you are. You could go ahead and enter those tracking numbers right here. This is your admin, or instead of entering the tracking information ourselves, we can think about what the supplier experience would be like if they were asked to enter the tracking information, because of course they're doing the shipping. So let's go back to the email that the supplier will get, and we won't click on it because that'll open it here in Chrome, this local browser that we're using where we're already logged in as the admin. Instead, we'll copy the link and go to another browser where we're not logged in, paste the link in, and then we'll see the supplier will get their own login prompt. Remember, we called them Acme, and they log in, and they get the same screen for order 3 with these 2 items. So we'll just look at how it looks to enter a tracking number. We'll do one as the supplier over here and one as the regular store owner, so you can see both. So we'll do the first product as the admin and the second product as the vendor. Now normally, of course, the vendor would do both, but I just want to demonstrate that you have the option of doing it either way. So we'll say the vendor ships via UPS, and we'll call that number 12345, and then we'll say that the shop owner ships by FedEx, and it's 98765. And we'll, just to be sure, go back here quickly and look again at the order in the orders list and see that the status is processing. Well, let's set these 2 tracking numbers. We set the first one in the admin and the second one as the vendor. And then we'll go back to our admin and take a look again at the list of orders, and we'll see that this order has gone to delivered status. So both of the items have been shipped. They both have tracking numbers. And if we look at the order history, we see that we have tracking links to the services that were used and notes about the date and times when this was entered. Now again, typically this would be done just one entry for a single shipment of all the items in the order, but I just want to demonstrate again that you have this flexibility of doing it both ways. So now we have seen the end-to-end handling of a drop-shipped order in ZenCart. Again, we can go back to the orders list and note that the order is in delivered status. So everything is complete and the customer will get their shipment shortly. So that is how you handle drop shipping in ZenCart. I hope you've enjoyed this video and found it useful. And again, you can reach out to me at any time if you'd like me to take care of your cart or implement drop shipping for you.